All right, very special edition of Lulz today. We're doing a bit of a mashup of Lulz meets Bully the Sims. I'm traveling tomorrow, but we wanted to make sure we could get Youda'S divisional round takes squeezed in as well. So Youda will be joining Brick and myself. This is Lulz. Let's get ready for divisional round.
Does he think? I think he thinks this. He thinks this is a go. Vegas Dave thinks this is a go.
Hot naked girls doing yoga.
What?
Why don't you just win like a man?
Random.org. Type in 1 for yes, 2 for no, and let the DFS cats pick for you.
And I'm absolutely begging you not to dupe us. Please don't dupe us.
All right. I feel like this is a fitting way to book in the season. I believe Brian joined us for the first Bully the Sims of the year to kick off week 1. And now we're going to bookend it here. Brick, Youda'S, how are you guys doing?
Good. The first Lulz I went on, I believe, I ran good in like the $20 million maker the week after. And so I think back in my head, I might have saved this one for the last relevant main slate of the year.
Well, that is kind of an interesting loop because you do have to win $1 million to get invited on the show, but then you also get the run good after coming on the show, and then you just stay a millionaire forever, I think.
That's how it is.
I'm assuming you guys saw Nerdy won $1 million, and he's been on the show before, so there's another.
Unreal. Yeah. Nerdy there. Do you guys kind of just like agree, like kind of hand off, like I take this one, you take this one? Like, how does that work?
My turn, your turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's zero sum. So we do like the LeBron and Wade thing.
There you go.
Me and Adam are like, our turn now. They're like, no, it's ours.
Yeah, Haslam, Chalmers.
Yeah. Who gets to be Chris Bosh? That's, I guess, is the question there.
I mean, do you want to be Chris Bosh? He's got some serious health issues. I mean,
so I think what we're going to do today, we're obviously going to do some ball takes here from Youda'S, go through the games. Also curious if Youda'S has any leans on sides in totals. And then we can talk a little shop if we have time as well. There was another point shaving scandal that hit the timeline. So in Lulz fashion, we might have to cover
Davis is Norris Cole, by the way. I just saw the comments. That's Norris Cole.
Who is?
Oh, Norris Cole. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
The basketball.
There you go. But Youda'S, how are you feeling about this divisional round slate? Do you like how things are lining up? Do you like the games? What's some of the macro?
I like how like there's some matchups that are strength versus strength or like strength versus weakness, but there's not real spots where I think it's like a fair advantage. So it becomes a little more something that could be exploited because when one side wins now, it could be so convincing that it swings the whole game.
And looking at like the totals, it does seem like we're probably in for some more like defensive slogs, maybe outside of Rams, Chicago, or do you think some of these have the potential to really pop?
Well, we do have basically like the 5 or 6 best defenses in football, and some of the better offenses that get eliminated. So it should be pretty defensive, but we're also talking about the best quarterbacks too. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just playoff football.
Yep. Brian has been desperate to ask you what you think about his beloved Bears. He said he's been waiting his entire life for this moment to watch Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson host a playoff game in the divisional round. What do you think about Brian's laundry chances this weekend?
Well, you had the 2007, was it? Super Bowl? 2006. And they started it off with I think it was like a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yep.
And so got spotted like 4 points there basically and still lost.
They were dogs too. I think they were like 6-point dogs. They were pretty, I think. I remember watching that. I went to that NFC Championship game and the Divisional, but didn't go to the Super Bowl, and it was pretty deflating pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't know why it is the run out with the Bears. It's just they kind of bad to mediocre for like 7 years at a time, and then have 2 years where they're incredibly lucky, and it happens every decade.
Did you say, Brian, before the show that you had just rewatched that game, or were you kidding?
No, the highlights. It was just on YouTube. I'm like, oh my god, I went to that game. I'm like, I don't remember any of this at all. This season reminds me of the 2002 Bears season more than the 2006 one, though. I don't know if you guys remember Peanut Tillman Peanut Punch, and Mike Brown, the safety for the Bears, and he would get like
the Cardinals coach presser.
we let him off the hook.
Yeah.
Was that season, or was that 2006? I think it was it probably was the 2002 season.
How old are you, Youda'S?
Me?
Yeah.
36.
Okay. All
That
right.
was 2006.
Yeah.
The green game was 2006. Yeah.
Okay.
But the 2002 season, like Mike Brown had like 2 or 3 pick sixes to win the game. I remember one against the Browns, and
people used to tilt these Bears outcomes harder. I feel like this year's been just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they're still in it. They just keep pulling it off somehow.
I guess the only difference is it's like less them being in the position to win is fluky, but then Caleb still goes out and wins it. So you can't be as mad as like these like defensive scores and like kickoffs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like you're like free rolling it though, right? Because you have the core now in place. Like you have Ben Johnson, you have Caleb, Burden and Loveland both look awesome. Mm-hmm. So even if you get bounced this weekend, like you're going to be in the thick of it for a long time. I
think 99% of Bears fans would be like, you're going to be in the NFC divisional game and win the division. Like, wow, that's a win. Yeah, and Loveland and Burden are good. Trapillo got hurt for the rest of the season. The other high pick, that kind of sucks, but
yeah.
I mean, even Menungai's useful. I mean, it's not awful. That draft was pretty good.
For sure. Why don't we go kind of game by game here and get some of Youda'S takes? We can look at some of the salaries and stuff and see if any specific plays jump out, but maybe focusing a little bit more on macro angles. Denver, this line is kind of bounced around a little bit. Denver's a 1-point favorite right now, 46-point total. What are you thinking with this game, Youda'S?
I do prefer Buffalo, but I did expect the line to move to Denver early on. So I'm just kind of waiting. But I've sort of been on Buffalo for like the last month at least.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this matchup kind of suits them even better than the last, where the strength of Broncos is actually pass rush more so than coverage. I think the coverage fell off a little bit this year. And so Buffalo is kind of equipped to deal with that. And I don't know if you saw like the last week, Allen basically had his best game ever throwing the ball. He was like, he got bent over backwards a little bit limited with the legs, although it doesn't really show on like the runs near the end. But it's a good sign that he can basically win a game with his arm, because that's sort of what happened. And them not really having receivers matters a little bit less, because nobody really gets real volume or looks on the outside against Denver anyway. And and then on the other side, you just have Bo Nix with his only playoff experience being a blowout loss to Buffalo.
Yeah. So
in theory, they have like a pretty good advantage for like their offensive line against the Bills. It's just, I kind of don't really trust the decision-making and execution for Nix.
Yeah. And is it just like with the Bills' weaponry, it just doesn't matter at this point? I mean, they're down to nothing, but Allen is just so good that it's all the same at this point.
Well, the offense played well last week, and no receiver ran 50% routes or something like that. And you could, in theory, still ramp up Kincaid a little bit. If you get Kincaid to like 70%, 80%, he at least is talented enough to be undeniable in the way where like he might be good enough to beat good defense. and not just like win on scheme.
Yeah.
Pete, don't you think this is a big best ball bro game? Because you got no wide receivers left for the Bills, and like one of these guys could go off, and then they're getting drafted in the 7th round or something 2 weeks from now. Because like, do you remember that Keon Coleman game? Oh God, you don't even know
Keon Coleman could definitely give people hope just because he's still a young guy.
Yeah.
Considering I drafted Brandon Cooks in a 2014 Dynasty League, I don't know if Best Ball Bros would get excited.
Shakur too. Coleman is Shakur. But if they had like a full wide receiver locker room with maybe somebody a little better, these guys aren't even touching the ball.
Oh,
yeah, it's interesting. It's good that they gave Coleman all those reps late in the season. Now that they need him in a big game.
Yeah, the healthy scratches for your first round pick or whatever.
Yeah,
but he's another guy where actually you'd rather possibly play him because a lot of the stuff he does, it doesn't matter if your coverage is good.
Right. Yeah, I mean he's like a contested catch.
Right.
Kind of guy.
Whereas like the other guys like Shakir, you can actually you can just take away by being bigger and faster a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. So I think the matchup suits Buffalo fairly well. And I mean, and then they're always going to have the same issues if they can stop the run.
Wait, it sounds. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Here's how bad the wide receiver core is. So Madden gives out the playoff teams all get extra cards. The wide receiver card for Buffalo, since they're in the playoffs, was Gabe Davis. That's how bad the wide receiver core is. Because they can't really do Diggs. They already did Diggs.
And now Gabe Davis is out. So now
and he's not even playing. And they still we're not doing Keon Coleman. He's that shitty.
So like if you I know ownership is probably incredibly fluid at this point, but Youda'S, if you had to kind of like power rank, like cost adjusted the stacking options for Allen, how would you rate them?
It's like Kincaid by a lot. And then I don't know. 4 games, you could go just Josh Allen in there.
Yeah.
You can make some assumptions on like a Coleman versus Cooks. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, it's pretty tough. So it could feel like a regular season Allen where you don't know what to do.
What do you think about this angle? Would you do Josh Allen and Cook together? Or is that too negatively correlated?
I would do it here. Just you don't have that many options in the first place. And it's not like their total's that high. So you're kind of just banking on the team's success more than 2 guys negative correlated.
Yeah. Is there anything you like on the Broncos side? I know you're a little shaky on Nick showing up here. Maybe RJ Harvey against a run funnel?
Well, with how Buffalo is, and this could be why they're not a matchup to target on the offensive side of the ball, like versus their defense, is they'll allow you to move it just slowly and then play the variance game in the red zone. So you don't really know where volume ends up necessarily, and it's like you have a good idea that there's going to be some volume, but it's going to come slow. So like the explosives don't happen, but you'll get like these good median scores, and then you're kind of just guessing who gets the touchdown if they get the touchdown, because McDermott does well at limiting and strategizing down there.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like more of a stay away for you on the Broncos stuff.
I'm not sure if it's like a stay away because again you have to go here. Like Harvey might be one of the chalkier running backs at cost.
Yeah.
And it's not like Sutton and these guys, Sutton, Pat Bryant. It's not like they're not stackable. In fact, they might be, because I don't know how owned like a Bo Nix is. It kind of just depends on the combos.
Brick, can you remind me the Run the Sims ownership? Is this like an automated first pass and then it gets tweaked at the end of the week?
Yeah. This is just like placeholder.
It looks directionally accurate.
Directionally
to me,
right.
Yeah.
You gotta wait and make adjustments yourself. Definitely. One of the points of the tool too is to like make it contest specific. Like if
the numbers there are all pretty good.
Yeah. Harvey going to be popular at 6,200. Sutton definitely the preferred wide receiver. I do like Pat Bryant too. It does seem like he was kind of flipping Troy Franklin there at the end of the season.
Yeah. we don't know. They haven't played in 3 weeks, and he'll do anything.
That's true. Yeah, Sean Payton might have a big package for little Jordan Humphrey up his sleeve this game. Do you have a lean on the total at 46?
Not really.
Yeah.
Just touchdown variance.
Yeah. All right, let's talk San Francisco, Seattle. This is the night game Sunday. Seahawks 7-point home favorites, also coming off the bye. San Francisco, no George Kittle, 45-point total here. Obviously familiar with each other as divisional rivals. What do you like in this one?
Both of the games they had this year have been incredibly slow, with especially San Francisco not being able to generate anything. So naturally, this might be a shootout. I don't really have, like, they played so recently, and the outcome was just so aggressively one-sided in that Brock could never do anything. He played okay, but just no time, and then nobody getting open. That, like, I'm sure Shanahan's going to make some type of adjustment that negates a lot of what we saw in that, to the point where Seattle might have to, like, adjust back in some other way. And so naturally the first thing would just be quick passing, because they were running some stuff that, like, took more time, and you can sort of, like, hold the ball a little bit against Seattle, because with, like, how they play zone and stuff, and sort of maybe pray that you can get some run game going. So I kind of like, I'm sure it's like the chalk angle, but it's probably like Tonjes, McCaffrey, just like low A dot stuff.
Yeah. Does Jawan Jennings join in that for you, or not quite?
For sure. He kind of fits the build, fits that mold of player. Price wise, it's kind of tough with these guys.
Yeah.
Outside of Tonjes, like McCaffrey.
Yeah. CMC 8,800, Jawan Jennings 5,400, and then Tongas down there at 3,400.
They seem good as one-offs, but it's hard to see, like, even like two pass catchers get there.
Yeah. Have you bet a side or total for this game?
Not here. No.
Yeah. Brian, who would you rather have the Bears face, assuming they pull off the upset here?
The San Fran, obviously it'd be at home, first of all, not in Seattle. And I playing in Seattle. I mean, I'm picking Seattle in my little bet thing I have to do. So no, I have no idea though. I hate Seattle.
Do you think, like you mentioned the Knicks stuff, do you think Seattle is like better positioned for being a serious team in the playoffs than the Broncos are?
Oh, just like the infrastructure is better. Like they have a real alpha receiver, sort of just a more well-rounded team overall. Not to say that Darnold doesn't have his big variance in the playoffs. He hasn't really done anything in the playoffs either. I think they're a little similar in that, in a lot of ways, actually. Just one of them has JSN.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you could get more Niners wizardry with like a Kyle Juszczyk.
Ooh.
In the way of like the quick passing, but also they just went there, right? It kind of won them the last game.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take Seahawks by surprise like it did with the Eagles.
Yep.
I take it back. I hate the old Seattle. I hate Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman and those types of Seattle.
Yeah, speaking of the old Seattle, when I was looking at this game, Jawan Jennings kind of feels like Michael Crabtree, because he's kind of like gets into fights a lot. It's like he's just missing his Richard Sherman foil on the other side.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite if you were picking between a Seahawks running back, really similar price, ownership, split, etc.?
I think it's game flow. I kind of want to look at how they're used, but it's like not even, it kind of defies normal logic, because it's not as if Charbonnet is like a purely pass down back. I think Walker's a better catcher of the ball, in fact, but it's like he'll get some drives, he'll start the drive, and then he'll never finish the drive. It's kind of simple as that. And then Charbonnet just gets like more random carries here and there than like your typical like Kareem Hunt role.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. Just if the Pacheco guy was just way more talented.
Right.
And also can catch the ball.
Yeah.
But I get it, right? He does have probably a lower success rate. And Charbonnet, if you look at a lot of the stuff, it's not as flashy, but it might even be more effective. So they're not doing anything wrong. It's just hard for us.
Yeah, because it does seem with like this total 26 and, you know, the Niners defense has been beatable. That stuff like Darnold, JSN, one of the running backs, maybe Barner, like feels like a spot you could theoretically onslaught.
For sure. Yeah, you could do it.
And then like Rashid Shaheed, you know, that just ended up being such a, from a fantasy perspective, a pretty limp acquisition for them. You guys do have Cooper Kupp projected for slightly more market share. Would Kupp be your lean over Shaheed if you were picking another pass catcher?
I guess from I don't really know because Shaheed's actually done almost nothing. I think a lot of the rates are probably relying on what he's done in the past.
Yeah.
But he hasn't shown anything even to be projected ahead of Kupp right now. But we know what he can do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like if you would have told me that you'd be viewing him similarly to a Keon Coleman on this slate after they acquired him, I don't know if I would have believed that.
Right. And then right after they got him, their rookie who got hurt, Horton.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly was like a better Shaheed and just got hurt right after. So if he didn't get hurt, probably, I don't even know if Shaheed's playing.
What'd they give up for Shaheed? 4th?
What did it end up being? I remember it ended up, whatever the Saints gave up ended up like being a wash with their like Devon Vele trade where they effectively traded Rashid Shaheed for Devon Vele, which seemed kind of weird at the time. But yeah, it must have been somewhere in that 4th round range.
Yeah, I get it, but it also doesn't really cover a need with how they play.
4th and a 5th. 4th and a 5th. So
yeah, that's a lot.
Any other thoughts on this one, or should we talk a little New England, Houston?
I mean, I think Darnold might be the chalk.
Okay.
Yeah.
5,400 home matchup. Nice team total.
If I had to guess, just because JSN is more affordable than Puka, and they're home favorite. Yeah, and then it's a little hard to stack Puka Stafford price-wise, and it's even harder, I think, to stack Bears with their pricing.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Although, man, the field and like just to give you an example as a sentiment index in the BRs where all 8 quarterbacks are, you know, can be drafted. I mean, Darnold's still routinely one of the last. It's like him, then Stroud. Like there is still not a lot of enthusiasm for Darnold. Obviously the salary stuff makes it way different. I get that, but yeah, I think I feel like people would almost
Hanges, JSN opens up stuff.
True.
So you're thinking like 25% ownership for him or something?
Maybe 20, but yeah, the 20 might be the highest.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got Don regular here in the Lulz chat and in the in-game syndicate Discord. I think this is a callback to him asking you previously, but he wants to know how you feel specifically about Brock Purdy here.
Oh, I love how he's playing. It's just he needs to have a chance. But I mean, I trust that like they can do a little bit for him. I don't know if it's enough to pay off at least him being optimal. But I think he has a shot to like. I just don't think it's going to be like it was week like two weeks ago, and I don't really remember how the week 1 went. Well, they won that game, but I think it was also tough sledding for both.
Yeah. All right, let's head to the Sunday games. We have New England hosting the Texans. This is one of the lower totals of the week. I saw it sub 40 in some places, see it 41 here. New England 3-point favorites. really unlikely that Nico Collins is going to play with that concussion. I know he wasn't available at practice yesterday or today, so he would have to progress through the protocol pretty quickly. What do you see in this game?
Could be a generational defense on the Houston side. Both offensive lines are dust. And I guess if we get some clarity on industry projections, I'm not sure if we see Kirk over Higgins. I'm not sure that's right.
Yeah, I was looking at ETR. I think ETR has Higgins ahead of Kirk.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, Kirk, obviously the recency bias of that massive game on Monday. It sounds like you prefer Higgins as well.
It just makes much more sense from role. And then lately we've seen sort of the Higgins snaps dial back as Collins was getting ramped up. And so it seems like it was more of a, backup to pure backup to Collins, and then play here and there in some 2 wide receiver sets when you just want guys on the outside. And so could be 90% plus for snaps, and he's just more effective. He's an exciting rookie. He kind of just looks like Collins a lot of the time, just a little slower.
Yeah. Brian, on a scale of 1 to 10 of a name being incredible, where would you rank running back British Brooks?
For football, not, pretty good. If he was a baseball player or a fisherman or something.
Well, the running back room has a lot of names.
It is true. Yeah, you get Woody Marks, Nick Chubb, so you get a lot of kind of phallic innuendos there. Then you got Daria Gumbawale, Jawar Jordan, and British Brooks. That is a pretty elite room there. Do you have any leans on total or side for this game, Yuda?
Not as of now, but it under could seem really square, but it still makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Just, Collins out kind of takes out a lot of the explosive element. And there's a lot of variance on May. You could just lose to May scrambling and throwing a bomb because it's going to be chaotic on that side. Or even a sack fumble, touchdown. So it's kind of scary from that aspect. But from the Houston side, it's kind of you can only sort of see them move it slowly but effectively here and there.
Yeah.
Patriots D is not scaring you.
Yeah, it's you basically have to hope that those defensive turnovers just don't result in touchdowns, because otherwise then you get the game sped up in the wrong way, even with the defenses being the dominant force.
Yeah, so it's it's a 2-way, maybe a parlay situation. Yeah. Pats over, Texans under.
Okay.
I'm not recommending that, but that's sort of the more likely way it goes, depending on who controls it.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on the New England stuff? Obviously, it's been really concentrated on kind of May and Ramondre of late as far as production. Any other kind of angles you see here?
It's very tough to get to the running backs with total like that. But I don't think it's kind of, to me, for DFS, it's more relevant which defense is chalkier. So at least you could have something to gain from that side. I guess it would have to be Texans by a lot. So just Ramondre's played so well in the role that he's given. He's kind of doing a bit of a Gainwell impression to the point where he's outplayed Henderson lately, and I think you'd rather trust the vet here. It's hard to not prefer Ramondre, but also Diggs is a little bit interesting just as a big game guy.
Revenge game narrative as well against the Texans.
He kind of hits on every revenge. His big games this year were Buffalo or primetime.
Yeah.
Then at least the spikes, and it's been like that going back to maybe even last year. Right, he likes attention. And so what better than like prime time stuff.
Brian, what do you think about Diggs' relationship with Cardi B? Is it helping or hindering him this year?
I think it hurt. I think it's not her though. It's probably the coke, and
The pink Coke?
and the boat trips.
Yeah.
I was thinking about British Brooks for a second, and if there's like implications that it's rigged, and I'm a private investigator, the first name I'm looking at is British Brooks is obviously involved in.
And I feel like he's wearing one of those plastic glasses with a big nose and the bushy eyebrows. That's British Brooks. Yeah.
Yeah. If there's a police line, like he's going to be dressed up, like a 1920 sports book operator or something.
Yeah.
How can you say it hurt though? He had a great year.
That's true. Well, maybe the reason is, Brian, is, it's been pretty cold up here. Yes, we have access to the Atlantic, but he would have been doing far more, Miami boat trips than he is in New England. It's too cold to do that. So maybe just the frigid temperatures have kept him more in line than he otherwise would have been.
That's true. I thought he was hurt, but I guess not. I guess he's playing.
So you're saying like New England is going to keep the players out of trouble.
That's right. Yep.
I mean, there's notoriously a guy who got in the most trouble of all time from New England.
Despite their mantra being "do your job" and staying in line. Crazy how that works. Do you have any thoughts on Booty? He's been playing pretty well.
At price, I can't.
Speaking of Cardi B,
imagine I have any thoughts. It's just the rotation stuff in the defense, but
yeah,
I don't really know. Like, it kind of depends on more things to shake out. But price wise, you're gonna have to do some things here and there. But I think if you take something like a stacking, like a Patriots or something, you can be pretty chalk the rest of the way.
Yeah. If you were to lean into stacking one of these pass games, Texans or Patriots, which one would you prefer?
I think it's Texans here.
Just because of the cheaper condensed nature without Nico?
Yes. Although if you want to go just like one receiver, it would be Pats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're more accessible going like Stroud, even getting Marks in there. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of into the possible like Higgins outburst because he can play. He's a lot of talent while like probably having a bit of a fade for Kirk. So there's ways to do something different.
Yeah.
On that side.
Yeah, I like that. I like that angle. Any other thoughts on New England Texans, or should we finish with some Rams Chicago here?
No, not really.
All right.
So we have no bets so far, except Buffalo maybe later in the week.
I was taking Bills later in the week.
I think my record on the show has been good though with the public bets. That's
why we're trying to pump you for them. You got another one for us here?
Well, I was a loser last week because I did Chargers. Oh, I Rams over, so at least public touting it was 1-1.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that because I forgot to tell you too. I'm going to this Bills Broncos game this weekend, so I needed some bets to give my buddies for our group sweat. So we'll do that one.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna like the bet.
Well, they're actually more Bills fans than Broncos, so that'll be fine for them.
Okay.
All right, let's talk Bears Rams. Brian's beloved Chicago Bears hosting the Rams. They're 3.5-point home dogs. This has the highest total on the slate, 48.5. I think it opened up a little higher and has come down a tick. What do you like here, Yuda?
I haven't looked too much, but there's a lot of narrative on the weather, right?
Yeah.
And like the Stafford cold stuff.
Yep.
If that becomes a real thing, it could be interesting on Stafford, but there's reasons to think the Bears can have some success. Like the lines moved a lot to get crossed 4 in favor of Chicago. I think that was mostly the Dotson, the lineman for the Rams being out. He's like their best run blocker. And if it's like a cold weather game, you're going to want that. So I'm a little concerned for that, but like narrative could drive a lot of stuff towards Chicago, and or at least off of like someone like Stafford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rams 26.5 point total, Bears 22.5. I mean, it's kind of what you see is what you get with the Rams as far as kind of know what this Kyron Quorum split is. We know Puka. I guess Adams is a little bit more of a wrinkle, just him getting reintegrated after that injury. Do you like anything else in the passing game?
I think I kind of like Rams D if they can get Caleb in a bad script. Not that related, but I could see that sort of messing up the game.
Yeah.
In a way where people aren't really looking for it. But like Rams have probably one of the best pass rushes, and Caleb is like very prone to volatility. So you don't want to like be against Caleb when the game's close, but if you're ahead by a little bit, you can even work it in with like the Kyron Williams.
Yep. Brian, can't help but think of you when I see the name Travis Homer on the Bears. Let's see. I mean, the Bears are interesting with the wide receiver room. Obviously, the field's going to be very excited to play Colston Loveland, probably the highest projecting tight end on the slate. But with the 3 wide receivers now, it's really flattened out.
Right, but just the way Loveland is playing, it's not even about snaps anymore. He's just out of his mind, and it doesn't really matter sort of the defensive attention at the moment, the way they're drawing it up for him. And yeah, it's a tough fade. No one's even getting that snap share like that at a tight end other than McBride. So it's basically McBride in the short term.
I did, just because we had mentioned the weather thing, I pulled up Kevin Roth's blurb. Mainly just going to be super cold in the single digits. Yeah. He said there's some wind worth watching. I think we'll see sustained winds 10 to 15 miles per hour and some gusts around 20 to 25, but models are bringing in much stronger winds post game. Okay. So it seems more just cold.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's like neutral or like slight bad, but like not really stuff to be worried about, and not like stuff where like you're starting to look at how big Stafford's hands are. But the record is like not great. Like I'll give them that. It's not statistically he doesn't do well, but can't really comment more on that unless we have like real reasons that he's not done well in these games.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like just generally people overthink that. I guess I wonder if that goes back to your point and me being a little skeptical about the field not loving Darnold, but if that just ends up feeling comfier than Stafford on the road in super cold weather.
The Bears feel like the trendy pick.
Yeah.
But I feel like Rams are probably sharper here.
Okay. What do you think about this total? Is it too frothy?
I mean, I don't really have the strong lean, but I think I would favor the over.
Okay.
Because both teams, I think the Bears would like to run the ball, but they're not as likely to have control of the game. So, and both have a mode where if they're starting out slow, they'll just ramp up to only pass. And so you can get like an extra out just from teams getting aggressive like that.
Mm-hmm. Brian, do you have a favorite Bear? Who are you lock buttoning in your lineups?
Well, I want Burden to do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't really. I'm kind of disappointed in Youda'S.
Yeah.
He's not playing great.
Well, he's had a pretty bad injury, so you can.
I mean, if you look at Caleb's reactions, during the game, it looks like he's running the wrong routes. Like, I mean, who knows if that's just Caleb's reaction and he actually is running the right routes, but it looks like he's getting pissed at him. To me. So,
yeah.
That's not a good sign.
It was like his first game back, and probably like rushed even. And it was already trending down before that.
What do you think about these market shares? Because you do still have Rome a tick ahead of Burden, and then DJ Moore is the third option here. I think that's not industry consensus.
Like Rome ahead of Moore or Burden?
Yeah, I think most places have it like Burden, Moore, Rome.
I would have it like this.
Rome at the top.
Rome second, but as far as scoring.
As scoring, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking at the market share, but yeah, I hear you. So I do wonder. It seems like even if there is Bears enthusiasm, my guess is if it does get played, it's going to be Burden in that Rome and Moore.
I think it's or just Caleb Loveland.
Caleb Loveland.
Could be plenty of that.
Do you like the spot for Swift?
It's like what running backs are we even looking at here? It's just Harvey standing out, and then the Seattle guys. So
yeah,
it's a good pivot, I think, but it's nothing like we know what we're dealing with. It's not a good matchup. He's had an underrated year. Lately, they have been playing more Monangai, and I don't know if that's right. Actually, it can't be right because Swift is like pretty good all around.
Yeah.
So, but maybe it's because he's getting like those breaks. But yeah, he had a great year.
Yep.
Actually, I'll take it back. I think game like this, you might go harder into Swift because Monangai has been pretty bad lately.
Yeah, it did seem like also the stretch where Monangai really kind of broke out. Well, one, there was the game where Swift was out against the Bengals, but it was like when they have a positive game script, they obviously, get Monangai a good bit, but in these closer or trailing game scripts, it's like way more Swift.
Right.
Definitely.
Like Swift can't block well, but Monangai really can't block.
Okay. Any other takes on these?
Just looking more, I think it's Rams passing relative to the fantasy market. Like even Devontae Adams, like it might be sneaky.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy to say for a 4-game. Like
Well,
Higbee
yeah.
won't get too owned, and then Adams might be low-ish, like under 20s.
in the Rams second or the Bears secondary has been really bad, and they've been getting beat by these downfield guys. Like where Devontae Adams was winning last week, or sorry, Romeo Doubs was winning last week, is where you got to expect Devontae Adams will be running a lot of his routes.
And it's also just the target stuff.
Yeah,
The three to four guys only catching the ball.
It's because the Bears have no pass rush too, so it doesn't help the guys in the secondary.
Yeah.
So now that we've talked it all through, have any other bets crystallized for you on either spreads or totals outside of the building?
Just Rams a little bit.
Rams a little bit.
Nah, he's wrong on this one. He's way off.
Brian wanted the bets until it involved being opposite the Bears that he was out. Here's that. All right, there you go.
I got
Rams a little bit.
I got a question.
Yeah.
4-game slate. What are you doing different as far as like defense, like building your lineups? Like if you run just run like 1,000. Just make it real quick, Pete. Don't even make it. Just make it as fast as you can. Like filters or settings, defense versus special team, 2 RBs from the same game. I feel like a 2-gamer, like me personally anyways, it's like, you could do whatever the hell you want because it's 2 games. You don't really have a lot of options. 4 games is kind of getting there. What's your take on constraints on allowing things like defense versus quarterback, defense versus opposing players, 2 running backs from the same team, etc.?
I think early on you can set something more strict, like a max 2 against your defense. But as the later it goes, the more open you need to be about it. Even like stacking, you have to be more flexible with fewer options remaining. A lot of the time I do some things where either it's like a mega onslaught or I'm actually limiting, right? Either it's like a normal game flow where not everyone gets there, or just it doesn't matter anymore and they're scoring at will with like not really much of an in between. So it could be like if we're taking the Seattle example, I wouldn't really want to have both running backs with Darnold and the Seahawks. And I think the Seahawks are a fairly chalk option, so it might pop up a lot. But I wouldn't want that group of four. Or like, I wouldn't want like running back Seahawks with JSN, something like that.
Yeah.
It makes sense, Pete, right? Where you're not gonna phase it out, but it's not a 2-gamer, so you gotta be more precise.
Right. And then like if I am getting to like everybody, then definitely no Niners then.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see here, I mean, I just ran the Sims, and there is like the 7th lineup here. This Darnold is opposite. I thought there was maybe a defense against the quarterback, but all of these are in line with what you would expect for conventional rules. But I will say, all Caleb and Darnold lineups here on this first run. What do you think of that?
It's just clearly they want a cheaper quarterback. Basically to get lock button JSN.
Yep. And the top 2 Caleb lineups have Kyron, which make a ton of sense if they.
I guess an interesting angle just looking at these. What happens if you just lock button Puka, JSN, and McCaffrey?
Just look at all of these guys together.
Yeah, like what can you do with that?
It looks like you get a lineup with
absolutely
Darnold, someone named Derek Young. Never heard of that wide receiver in my life.
Derek, my balls.
So yeah, that is tough.
I just wanted to see if you could do it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do it, but
he didn't make many lineups. You'd have to if you make 10,000, you might find something in there.
Yeah. I mean, some of these lineups are interesting though. Like this other Darnold one is an onslaught with Kupp, Shaheed, and JSN. I will say you're getting a ton of Dalton Schultz, and I did send the Nico stuff to 0 and did the smart adjust, so makes sense.
You can definitely do it. I'm looking right here, and it's kind of good. So nobody do that.
Hey God, all right. Tell us how does it work? How do you put together the nutted lineup?
You go like a game stack on Seattle, right? Naturally. And then it would just be like, what I'm looking at is Darnold, JSN, Charbonnet, Barner, and then McCaffrey, Tonjes. So you only have 2 spots left, but it's not even that bad.
Yeah.
So
but Puka's one of them. You're able to get that.
Yeah, Puka's one of them. Puka one off.
Yeah.
And then it's like Hutchinson, Bills, just cheap stuff like Hutchinson, Bills, stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, there you go. You do have to say the line on this show, Youda'S. Please don't dupe me, bros.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, prepare to be duped.
All right.
It took me 2 seconds to get to that, so I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure that won't be. I'm sure it'll be used somewhere.
For sure.
Salary you don't care about? Minimums or anything?
No, I mean, especially if you're swapping, you're going to have to at some point.
Yeah.
If you're using a minimum, you're going to get rid of it eventually.
Is there anything on that note as far as thinking through swaps on this slate? I guess if you have a contrarian Buffalo or Denver piece early, that certainly helps you.
I mean, there's a lot to think about if it swaps because it matters a lot. You have all the time to see what's around you. It's probably still underutilized for most players.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The one thing is you don't want to, and I'm not very good at it either, but you don't want to box out yourself. That's the part you can control. You might not be the best at looking at all the other stuff. And if you're blocked by other lineups, which is how you would do it optimally, but not everyone has that level of sophistication in what they do, but at least don't block yourself. If you have a clear top team out of your set, just make sure the 2nd to 5th best teams, for example, aren't very similar to the best one.
Mm-hmm. Brian, should we wrap up with a pretty classic Lulz story topic here before we get out of here? Yeah, so this one came across the wire here today. Breaking. 20 people have been charged with rigging college basketball and Chinese Basketball Association games as a result of a sweeping FBI investigation, according to a copy of a federal indictment just unsealed by federal prosecutors in Philadelphia. Brian, where does this rank on our controversy scale here as far as these sports?
Doesn't seem to be. It seems like people are getting what's the word called? They're not as shocked by these revelations as much as they were. They're getting used to it.
Yes.
Well, I saw it was like Antonio Blakeney was involved. Did he have something else recently, or is it just this? Because I feel like he's getting into other headlines.
I don't know who that is. Pete, do you know who that is?
No.
It was like a fringe NBA guy. I think it was a good college basketball player.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. You got to get someone who knows all the guys.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting.
Did he play in China?
He did, I think.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, and at least this one makes
small schools.
These are all small schools: Tulane, Northwestern State, St. Louis, LaSalle, Fordham, Buffalo. But the thing we always talk about is like on the bigger scale, when you're talking about some of those NBA ones, the risk versus reward just doesn't seem to match up. But I think games in China and in college, all of a sudden, how
many players you need to buy to guarantee a win?
Right.
2?
Depends on the player. But yeah, 2 should be, if they're starters, should definitely be enough, right? Not guarantee a bet on the sports bet. Yeah. Fordham isn't that like almost $200,000 a year?
I mean, as a university, maybe.
Yeah,
like tuition. I'm saying it's expensive. Let me look.
It says prosecutors say the alleged sports gambling conspiracy began in September 2022 when the defendants first started to bribe players in the Chinese Basketball Association to engage in point shaving when someone is paid to manipulate a game's final margin of victory. And here you go. Yeah. Fairley and Hennon initially targeted Antonio Blakeney, who was playing for the CBA's Zhengzhou Dragons at the time and was not named in this indictment, prosecutors said. He agreed to participate in the scheme, and then he recruited other players from the team.
I didn't know CBA had that type of market.
Yeah. This is hilarious. Here you go, Bride, for size that would get flagged. These two dudes bet 198,000. There's a typo on here. 198,000 via Bet River Sportsbook on the favorites to cover the spread. Just a cool $200K on the Guangdong Southern Tigers.
I was thinking about this before the show.
You could have tried that game. Look at the score.
What was it?
32 points. Oh no, he averaged 34. 127 to 96 win.
Not even close. I just had a bad game.
Yeah, so averaged 32 points per game in that season.
But he overdid it then. He tried to leave no doubt early, but you have to pace the shave, not just make it obvious from the start.
And so then they said they Fairley had placed a package in Antonio Blakeney's storage unit in Florida, which contained nearly $200,000 in cash, representing bribe payments and proceeds from the fixed CBA games.
How'd they get caught?
I assume Bet Rivers probably flagged something as being abnormal with that bet.
Well, I mean, you still need some evidence.
Yeah.
I think we're just, the reason this is happening so much is the dummies. Because you could have rigged games forever. Like you can get money down even in the 80s. I think it's just like these dummies are like, oh, I could bet on my Bet Rivers app. And we could rig the game. That's a genius idea. Let's do it. And it's just the dummies. And I think it's going to die down a bit.
My guess is one of these players, he got recruited. They probably were able to flip one of them, right, and get one of them to talk and kind of describe the payments, and then they were able to then go back and look at some of the games and triangulate it.
Probably.
Does it say anything about who's running it, or just?
It looks like it was those two dudes, Fairley and Hennon.
Okay.
High stakes sports gamblers. There you go. Marv's Fairley and Shane Hennon. So whoever these
trainers too, huh?
A lot of the time, it eventually leads to a mob.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still like whenever I see the FBI has done this, I still understand why we're spending taxpayer dollars investigating this stuff. I don't get it.
Content creator.
Yeah, that's what I was just like. This guy, it says content creator in sports. And then this article is mom of alleged ringleader of NBA gambling scheme gets sticker shock at $250K bail. What an angle for the New York
It's not even
Post
that much.
Because
don't you only got to put like 10% down or something?
Yeah.
5% down. It's not.
Oh, wait. This guy was involved in a poker one too. In supplying poker cheating technology. Look at this.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Probably all the same guys.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of anything else in life.
And then this looks like the other guy, this Marv's Fairley. So there you
seems
go.
like he likes money.
this photo seems to line up.
That's the other thing, right? They shouldn't be showing off wealth then.
Yeah. If this was Goodfellas, these guys wouldn't make it to the end of the movie.
Yeah, these don't seem like the mafia type. These fall into the bucket of idiots.
Yep.
That
the bucket of big dummies.
Brian was describing. Yeah.
Which is bad for everybody involved because they blow up these stories, and then the FBI loves this shit, right? They're like, "Look at the job we're doing. We're really helping Americans."
Oh yeah, Cash Patel.
Oh yeah. Think of all the little buttons he gave out for this event.
As far as Run the Sims, you guys can still get the 50% off your first payment with promo code Pete. The fellas also have NBA and PGA rolling now. Is NBA still free, or did you guys turn the paywall switch on for that?
We just turned it on.
Okay. There you go.
That promo code, by the way, Pete, I think it's 1 week left, maybe 2 weeks left.
Okay. There you go.
And then we're going to make it free for the Super Bowl.
Okay. Yep. Showdown season will be free on Run the Sims. Youda'S, if this ends up being our last show, had a blast doing it with you this year. Appreciate all your time.
Likewise. Good to be on.
Yeah. Congrats on your Millie win after the show run. Game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would, the same thing happened to me on Ship Chasing. It's the second time one of the hosts on the channel won BBM for $2 million. Youda'S comes on here. Nerdy comes on here, wins it. I would like to one day win it myself, as opposed to being the vehicle for you vampires to suck the run good out of me, you blood-sucking vampires.
So Brian, you need a guest host, and then Pete comes on.
That's right. That's right. Let me be a guest for once. All right, guys. Enjoy the games. Good luck, everyone, and we'll see you next time on